It's very pretty. I bought it perhaps from Temu or something like that. And I didn't quite know what to do with it. It's very pretty. It has two of everything in here. And some of these things are very nice, and you can use them in many ways. But since it was sitting around, I thought, well, what if I made a folio out of one of these? Which I did. I used the regular folding technique. It's a little tricky because it's so tiny, but isn't it sweet? I love making tiny things. I don't know why. I just do. But anyway, I thought, oh, now it needs a little booklet in here, like I have been doing with the big ones. So since I have so much of this, the first thing I did was fold this booklet in the zine format, and I folded it on this side. I thought, well, that's not too cool because nobody can write on it, and it would look nice in there. And that is a choice that you all can make if you have a similar booklet like this. However, I thought, oh, all I have to do is turn it inside out, fold it a different way, and here's my booklet. And then, I can glue the pages, which I have not yet done. Usually at the bottom of each page, you end up with a pocket. So you can add even more wonderful things in it, but each pocket has a little surprise. You can't so much see the top ones, but you can certainly see the side ones. All right, and so if I sew this in, which would just be lickety-split, I could also glue it in. Then I have these wonderful little things that I can place inside of others. See, the mini-me's that go inside here, they would fit in there beautifully. So you could give someone not only the larger folio, which I hope this one has a booklet, and yes, it does. It has the large booklet. Of course, I could also make little pockets for the booklet and stick these things in there. So there's lots of things you can do with them. So that's what I'm just going to show you today real quick. I like them all the ways, all the different ways. And this folio is just becoming habit forming. I have made so many of these. I can't stop making them, but that's what happens when I meet a challenge. It was challenging at first, but it isn't anymore. Now I could probably make these in my sleep. Okay, so I pulled one off. Let me pull a cleaner one, although I don't care. Let me just go ahead and do this one. And you follow the same exact procedure. You only fold it in half, excuse me, and make a little pinch there. I'm sorry. And then you fold it like so to make the little, I guess they call this a cupboard fold or something like that, because it opens like a cupboard. The thing you could do at this moment is, if you feel the need, you can take your little inking and you can ink down the middle of it. Okay? Maybe I'll do that. I don't know. Not going to help because I could do another way. But just to be consistent. Yeah. So I could just stamp this. And I think this is going to be the top. So what I may just do is stamp this at the bottom. And it helps if you stamp these, or what ink, not stamp these corners. Okay, so now I've got this done. And I'll push this aside. And I'm going to make this the top and this the bottom. So you take it in half. And then you take this bottom half and fold it in half to the fold line. And then you take this fold, this is very important, and you reverse it. There. And then you put it back, and you take this new reversed fold to the middle. And what you're doing is creating the little place where the pointed top goes. Okay, so while you have it here, be sure to know where your fold goes. And sometimes at this point, if I have a pencil handy or something to write on, well, I'll just go ahead and do it this way. I just make a little mark here. It doesn't show. And that way I know where my fold line is. I put my fingernail there. And you don't have to always go directly up to the fold line, but if you do, it's fine. So you go over here. Let's see if I can make this a little closer. And of course, back over here. There you go. And then you flip it up. And now this is going to be your little place where you put the point of the top in. You'll see in a moment. And I just put my fingernail there so I'll know where it is, and just crease it like so. Then you pull it back. What you're going to really do, you can do this any way you want. At this point, sometimes I will just do the tops of these. And you can do this while you're at it. And you could do more later on. Okay, so now you've got this thing here, and it's all nicely folded, like so. And you bring the folds back to, whoops, back to here. And there you go. And by darkening the inside of this, you know, I've already done that. Now I can, obviously these two did not meet because the fold was not quite as close as it could have been. So I can refold that, bring it over just a tad. Of course, what was the purpose of my line if I was going to do that, right? So now you flip this back. And now I've done it too close. So split the difference, do it in the middle, and fold. I'm really making a mess of it, aren't I? Yes. All right. You get the idea, right? Okay, now I've got this side here. I'm going to just give that a fold so it'll stay put. Turn it over this way. And this is the trickier part, they say. It's really not, but I bring them two together and try to make them even and meet at the center. And it doesn't really matter what this top looks like. And working something so small, I would just cut that off at the end. Actually, I'll probably use the corner rounder. Anyway, so then you take this. Let me see if I can get even closer. From this corner, you flip this up this way and crease it. From this corner, bottom corner, you flip this up this way and crease it. Then you kind of, and this is where a little pencil line or something comes in handy, because wherever this is, you won't see that. So you kind of open it up again, and you bring this corner, which is no longer an operating corner. So I always put my finger there, and run it across. And this was the reason I put ink on that far corner. You saw me do that. Not this one here, but it will show if these are gapped open just even the tiniest bit. It will it won't be white. So there it is. This is the corner, and I run my finger along the edge and fold. And now I have this little pokey thing sticking out and this pokey thing, and we insert one inside of the other. This is a little tricky here. Not really much, but there you go. And then you fold this little piece down in here and even it up with that bottom fold line. The paper is pretty tough. And there you have it. There. And this goes inside there. Now, it's hard. Usually I turn it over and eyeball it. If it looks pretty straight, I can make an adjustment. So this is, look at how tiny this is. It's just very, very tiny. Okay, now what I found out is if I want to make a notebook, since I have so many of these, all I have to do is pull one out of this pad and fold it in a zine format fold, which I'm going to show you now. Just a little bit higher here. Okay, so you fold that in half. Now this one here, unlike the other one, you fold it all the way across. And then you fold it in half lengthwise, or whatever you call this, halfway, and you bring the ends of the short end up like so. Now I think I may have folded it in a way where the color shows, but it's your choice. You can do whatever you want. And then you have the little airplane, and I always reinforce this one little cut, and if I can even ink it a little bit so I can see it better. And I do this with a 8.5 by 11. I do it with any piece of paper I can find. And you just snip it like that. Now, if I'm making this a plain notebook, this is what I have. And I'll fiddle with it until I get this sort of lined up the way I want. But if you prefer the other side, you just take it apart if you want the pretty side. And of course you won't be able to write on it or write any notes, but it would look like this. And you would go like this, and then you would have this to fit inside of this. And this one here is the one I just made, and you can just stick it right in here. I do prefer it the other way, however, because I think it's for me, and I know I can do this because it's just the perfect size, because it's the exact same size. So I'll refold it, flip it, and now I've got this cute little booklet. And one of the things that does particularly look nice, well, you can do the pages. I'm not going to do them all, but you get the idea. And you can just do the inside. Whoops, I think I overdid that one, but oh well. And if you happen to have one of these little handy dandy little things, there's one little tiny side, and I just snip, and go down each page, make sure the corner is in there. It cuts really good. You know, some paper doesn't. This cuts just great. So there you have it, a cute little notebook that you can then sew. And I like you can do it either way. You can sew it if you're left-handed. You can do it on this side, but I like this thing being on my right side. So I sew mine in here, or glue it, or don't do either one. Just slip it inside. This and there you go. Cute little project, quick and easy. Now, you can do this with any kind of paper. If I had my little ruler handy, hold on. Okay, let me measure this. All right, Charlie. This is 6. No, I'm sorry. I'm doing the wrong side, am I? No. The paper here is 5.5 by 4. So if you find a pad of paper that's this size, or printed or otherwise, or cut your own, and frankly, if you just keep the rectangular proportion, not square, although I think I've made one out of square, but it comes out quite a bit different. But anyway, keep it in a rectangular. You can see how many I can make. And so I thought maybe that this might be an inspiration if you like to put little things inside of your journals. Okay, that's it.